Welcome back to TechKidFX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Polygon Matic, whose current price stands at the $0.9381 mark, and here on TradingView the market is up by 0.03%. And in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot waves and the Fibonacci's, and also the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart pattern that you have information on this chart. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening on this chart. Polygon Matic from the all-time high has been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which has now taken us back to around the $0.32 mark, and having done so, I believe it has done the minimum that we expected that ABC corrective movement to do. And after the ABC corrective movement, whatever I expect next is a movement to the upper side, obeying this Elliott wave structure, having a wave 5 maybe taking us back to an all-time high. But before we get to an all-time high, we first need to see that first wave over here in information, and I believe that is what has been playing out here on the Polygon Matic chart. And if I jump to the 4-hour chart for further analysis, here on the 4-hour chart you can see I have this yellow fractal wave, which is a fractal wave within that first wave to the upper side, and I believe Polygon Matic has been obeying this movement to the upper side, and now we are in the formation of a fifth wave to the upper side, which is the wave that will be completing that higher Elliott wave count 1 to the upper side. And if I get a little bit into the details of the formation of that fractal wave, so that it can also give us the key scenarios that we expect to play out, after making our low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, making our high for that first wave, then saw a very nice retracement to the lower side in the formation of our wave 2. Then we continued pushing higher in the formation of our wave 3, making our high at around the $1.06 mark. And after making that high, we have been seeing a bit of a retracement to the lower side in the formation of a fourth wave. And because a fourth wave is a retracement of the third wave, we can use the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of that wave 3 to the high of the wave 3 to give us a minimum retracement area to the lower side in the formation of that fourth wave between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.618 as a maximum. And I can mark that target area here on the charts like that, and you can see that my target area lies between the $0.82 mark and the $0.6684 mark, and we have been retracing into this target area, making our low for that fourth wave at around the $0.69 mark, which is within this target area that I have drawn out here on this chart. And because a fourth wave is a corrective wave, I also expected to see an ABC corrective movement right here, and I believe we are seeing such a structure, having this as the wave A. We have this as the wave A, then a wave B making our high at around the $0.94 mark. Then we continued pushing low in the formation of a wave C, making our low at around the $0.69 mark. And after making that low and completing the formation of a fourth wave, whatever I expected next is the formation of a fifth wave to the upper side in this movement right here. And because a fifth wave to the upper side is an impulsive wave, I also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that fifth wave to the upper side. And before I get to the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing it on the Elliott wave structures information within that fifth wave to the upper side, I want to show you the key chart patterns that you have information right here. You can see within the movement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 4, we formed a channel, which I have highlighted here in these yellow lines that I have over here. And at some point over here, we managed to break out of the channel to the upper side. And as we try to have a retest of that key upper side of the channel, we lost the upper side of the channel and got back into the channel once more. And within the channel, we have a key area of support at around the $0.78 mark, which gave us support. And we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side once more, managing to break out of the channel once more. And here on the 4-hour chart, we even saw a successive retest of the upper side of the channel. And after the retest was a success, we have continued pushing higher. And as I expected in my previous videos, I said we might be able to get back to around the $0.95 mark and maybe manage to break above it. But over here you can see we tried to break above it and got to around the $0.9686 mark, and we didn't have the power to continue pushing higher, and we saw a bit of a pullback. We are seeing a bit of a pullback below that key area of resistance, and I believe that is the first movement that I expected in my previous videos, and it has played out, meaning that my analysis over there has worked. And there's also another channel that I had right here, and if I draw it out, we can have this as the upper side of that channel right there. then the lower side, and I need to extend this channel because it's starting right there. And we have also seen a breakout out of this channel also. This is the lower side of the channel, like that. And we have seen a breakout out of this ascending channel also, and you can see in this movement right here we even saw a retest of the upper side of this new channel that I have drawn out, taking us back to around the $0.95 mark, and even managed to break above it a little bit before we saw that pull back to the lower side. And getting back to the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing it on the Elliot wave structures, as I have said, in the formation of a fifth wave, which is an impulsive wave, I expect to see fractal waves in formation within that fifth wave to the upper side, and I believe we are seeing such a structure right here. After making our low at around the $0.69 mark, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 1, then retracing to the lower side in the formation of a wave 2. Then we continued pushing higher in this movement that was giving us a breakout yesterday, in the formation of a third wave. Then I expect a fourth wave, then a fifth wave to the upper side to complete a higher Elliot wave count 1, which is a fractal wave within that fifth wave to the upper side. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this fractal wave over here, after the formation of that first wave, we have seen a very nice retracement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 2. And because a wave 2 is a retracement of the first wave, we can use the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of that wave 1 to the high of that wave 1, and that gives me a minimum retracement area between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.618, and you can see this wave 2 retraced into that target area and even managed to break out of the target area to the lower side, getting back to around the 0.786 fib level, which perfectly lies at a key area of support, which gave us support. And then we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a third wave. And using the trend based Fibonacci, we can get a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3, connecting the trend based Fibonacci from the low of the wave 1 to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the wave 2, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that third wave at the fib level 1.618, and that lies at around the $0.992 mark. And in our movement yesterday to the upper side, after seeing those breakouts, we got back to around the $0.9686 mark, meaning we are just a few cents below that key target area in the formation of a third wave. And there are possibilities that maybe the high for that third wave will be in at around the $0.9686 mark. So there are high chances that the high might be in at that point. We might not fully maximize that target area, and in this pullback that we are seeing right here, this might be the formation of a fourth wave to the lower side. So there are chances that we are in the formation of a fourth wave to the lower side, assuming that the high was in at around the $0.9686 mark, because it's not a must that we fully maximize the target area that I have drawn out using the trend-based Fibonacci. And if that is the case, we can also sketch out a target area to the lower side in the formation of a fourth wave using the trend-based Fibonacci, using the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of the wave 3 to the high of that wave 3, that is at around the 0.869686, and that gives me a minimum target area between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.5. And if I mark that target area here on the charts, I can mark it like that, and that target area lies between the $0.87 mark and the $0.84 mark. So there is a possibility we might see a bit of a pullback here on the Polygon Matic chart to get us into this target area between the $0.87 mark and the $0.84 mark in the formation of a wave 4, then continue pushing higher in the formation of a wave 5 to complete that higher Elliot wave count 1. And zooming in so that I can also give you a target area to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 1, I can use the trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the wave 1 to the high of the wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the high of that wave 3, and that gives me a minimum target area back to around the 0.618 fib level, and that is at around the $1.24 mark. So that is the minimum that I would expect that first wave to the upper side to do. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. Here on the 4-hour RSI, we are trading at around the 64 mark, and you can see this is after seeing a bit of a retracement here on the RSI after getting into the overbought region. That's why we are seeing a bit of a movement to the lower side, and any movements to the lower side will be supported here on the RSI. Also taking a look at the MACD. Here on the MACD, we have printed a bearish cross. We are just about to print a bearish cross, and that means we might see lower prices in that retracement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 4. So that's all for this video, and I'll keep you updated on any movements that plays out.